Alright guys, so I wanted to do a quick overview of the finished ground station backpack here. This is how I carry it. A tripod stand on here, and it's not exactly sure how much it weighs. It's not super heavy, but it's not super light either. You can also put a quad on the back here, which is cool, and you don't really need the tripod. But let me just show you what I got here. So first thing is I got this stuff wrapped around the handle. It's like this wiry, rubbery stuff here that you can hang the backpack from something if you want, or whatever you want to do with it. And it serves two purposes for me. It's my kind of ghetto stand for my tripod, but it also holds this little latch up right here, the top up. So in here I've got my ground station components. I've got all this good stuff. So this all comes out. Let me show you how that works. We'll go around the back here. This is the main rear part of the backpack, and in here I've got my toolkit, which has got butane soldering gun, lighter for that. It's got a data cable that I may need if I wanted to adjust my OSD. I've got some filters and some stuff, some Velcro, lens for the GoPro, Loctite spare video transmitter, a knife, screwdrivers, and a multi-tool for the wrench, and some Velcro. Basically, almost everything you'd need fits neatly in here, and it fits right down bottom pretty good. It's a rain cover for the bag. In here, quick access. Got this screwdriver, which has multiple heads you can use on it. Some more Velcro, and some CA, which works great if you need to repair stuff in a flash. And this is some Chloroplast that I've made into a holder for this guy. So this is kind of cool. So this is my antenna mount. Now, as you can see, it stands up pretty high, and when I've got it on the tripod, you know, it'll be another foot or so higher. And actually I can take it right up like this if I wanted to zip it into here. And if you wanted to put a monitor here, I have mine on the other side. This thing still stands up because of this Chloroplast tube. It's Velcroed to the back of here. So usually I run it, I don't unzip this usually, I just run it like this. Okay, so we'll just bring this tube down so it all gets in the camera and you can see how this works. So I open this up, and I take out my antenna here, and it's attached to some Cat 5 diversity setup going through Cat 5 into here, which goes into my Eagle Eyes. And I take this guy right here, and I just Velcro it right on here, and it's pretty solid. Then I can tilt it and point it wherever I want. And I've got my little antenna right here that I will hook up to this guy here. And I've got another wire in this pocket, which is quite bendy, that I can put on here and keep that however I want. Keep that right in here. So in this main pocket, I've got 25 feet of Cat 5 in case I want to put it on my larger mast and send it way up. But this works pretty well as far as keeping it up in the air. And you know, you're able to keep it at a pretty decent height here, as you can see, and turn it any way you want to aim it where you need to. So I've got that. In here I have a 5.8 receiver, which I can put up top too, and that is also Cat 5 I just swap the plugs, and I've got power and video out on this. And that fits right in here. This little guy fits right here. And I got my 5.8 transmitter sitting right here. And Eagle Eye's Diversity, and this is my little junction box for, I've got an input and I've got an output which goes to a set of goggles if I'd like. And there's enough room in here for some other stuff. I got a little camera in here and it's like a marker. And then I've also got this, which I can hook to that, and I'll show you when I close it up how that works. Alright, so in this pocket, I've got some tape, I've got some spikes that I use to, stakes that I use to hold down my larger antenna mast, which is like 15 feet high. And I've got some batteries for my GoPro, LiPo charger, and there's a LiPo monitor right here, a little guy. Little LiPo alarm that I keep there. Got a GoPro live out cable if I need to use the GoPro for some reason. And I got some, you know, just like 4 pockets here. I got a bunch of little stuff you could use. And that doesn't really get in the way. So I've got that there. Let's take a look at the side here. This is where I keep my, first of all, I've got this is my recorder. And the reason I have it here is so that I can access it while it's while the backpack is on my back. I can kind of swing it around and hit record. And then I've got my transmitter right here, and my UHF antenna right here. I've got my goggles in here as well. So it all fits right in here, and it goes down in there. As you can see, down in here, built some stuff with Chloroplast. And it's a PVC frame, as you can see. So, and if I'm somewhere that I want to keep, if I'm having the backpack here, I can move this recorder up to here and watch it there. It's not a great recorder, but it works, and it was cheap. So then in here, I've got my monitor, and that can kick back like this if I wanted to. This works pretty well, and I actually like in this position, unless it's on the ground, then I can kick it back. So then over here, this is the power side. We've got a little battery strap, and I can keep a bunch of batteries in here. Actually, I can load this whole compartment up with batteries if I want to. And I got a little bay right here that shows me, that has, you know, some XT60 plugs and some Dean's connectors, a little Beck to power my goggles in there, and this is all put together with Chloroplast. It's pretty simple, one piece I cut, and then I have a USB charger to charge the goggles or phone or whatever I want, which is also 12 volt if I need this for anything. Actually I have like a plow light bubble thing for the top of your car, top of your truck for when I plow, and I use that for night flying so I can spot my ground station. Works quite well. So basically that's it. I can load this area up with LiPo batteries if I want, and I have plenty of batteries for the flight. There's this little extra pocket here, and usually I carry a little cloth that I put, a microfiber cloth that I put to protect the screen. So, and as you can see, I've got power up here to my receivers, power to my Diversity. The reason why I have this here is I can fly like this if I want to, but I usually use my goggles, and I can reach right in here and change the settings on my Diversity to switch between antennas and receivers if I'd like to. And that works quite well. I can actually, in the future, I'll probably have it set up where I can have the 5.8 on one channel and the 1.3 in another, so I could just swap back and forth with Omni antennas in each for patches or whatever I do. So, anyway, that's pretty much the setup, and the breakdown is pretty quick. So, get done flying, I'll zip this spot up, come over here, unplug the battery, Put that in here. Take this off. Oops. Transmitter actually fits in here pretty well without the switches or the other stuff contacting anything. Usually I put my goggles in second, so this is actually causing a little bit of a problem right now. So I usually put my goggles in last. So put the transmitter in here. Now, the idea of this whole backpack is to be able to get deployed and pack up fast, and not have to deal with a bunch of putting stuff away, as in like picking up all these things, pulling out all these cables, not having to deal with all that stuff. So right now it's a pretty tight fit, but usually it goes in there pretty quick. And then that's done, and then we'll bring this mast down. Disconnect this, take off our little antenna, and I will show you how I can set that up for a quick connect. Throw this right in here. I really should put some protection on this crosshair. But when it sits in here, nothing hits it. The cover protects it, and it works pretty well. So while it's in here, this is how I want to run it. Like if I'm going on a hike where I just want to stop and pull out the quad and fly, or whatever I'm doing, I can run it like this. Or I can put my antenna extension and give it a little further up off the ground, and this tucks back in here like that. So basically this ground station is ready to fly. If I have it on my back, I can literally just swing it around like this. After I plug in the other side, I'm going to put a switch here in the future, but right now I can just swing it around like this, pull out my transmitter, pull out my goggles, hit record, put it back on my back, and fly. And it's really quick, and it works quite well. And everything fits right in here. And there's more space in this back area. I know some people were worried about not having enough space for objects and stuff, but there's like, you have this much space back here, and you could put things in this pocket or in this pocket. There's actually plenty of room back here, and especially if you want to use a case like this or a little bigger one to have even more room. This backpack's actually set up quite well, and if you want to put it on the tripod, this tripod is kind of neat, pretty modular and lightweight. Just kind of open it up. And what I'm going to do is probably 3D print a little, some kind of little device that would let me screw onto here with a little hook, so I can just take this guy and hang it. But for right now, I use this stuff here, and I give it a good wrap. Put it on here like this, and then I'll just wrap it to the ground station with this. And it's not really the best way to do it, but it seems to work fairly sturdy. I usually do a little better wrap job. I'm just trying to illustrate it. And then I can bring this up like this and hook that on, and pull my little antenna out, and I'm good to go. And this goes up higher, just a little bit higher, but I mean, see, didn't wrap on there very good, but that's the idea. So you guys see my little 1.2 backpack ground station. I can fit everything I want in here and more, and it's really modular. So just take this antenna. I'll kind of drop it back behind this thing, which I have to unscrew. I want to get some quick releases, some quick connects for this connection, so I can just push it right on and take it off really quick. It's not super imperative that it stays super well connected, because on the ground station it's not really moving. So, and that fits in there. I just kind of throw it in there, and it hasn't been damaged at all, so everything fits in here pretty well. This is a mini crosshair, so I think it's 7 or 8 inches across. My friend Joe made it, and he gave it to me when he upgraded his stuff, and it fits right in the pack. Flew out 3-4 miles with it, no problem, through cloud cover and everything. So, yep, here's the pack. Works well.